Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chakoni Henry here at Royal Giant High School. You are most welcome to RGS TV. Today we have a program of Royal Highlights. We have hosted one of our English teacher of Royal Giant High School. Let me give him opportunity to introduce himself.
Hello, RGS TV viewers. You're most welcome. My name is Agaba Innocent, a teacher of English language, literature in English and general paper here at Royal Giant High School, Metiana. I'm the head of department, English language, literature and general paper. I also double as the patron debate and writers clubs and one responsible for prep supervision daily. Thank you very much. You are highly welcome.
Today we'd like to ask some questions, Mr. Agaba, because we want to know some things. The first question is, Mr. Agaba, how do you find teaching?
Thank you very much for that question. The teaching profession is so much interesting and it is a very good profession. It is as easy as drinking water if one is used, and there are no challenges that are there that going to complicate life of a teacher. So the teaching profession is very good and it is interesting.
And now, Mr. Agaba, now these days we have two curriculum, the new curriculum and the old curriculum. But now the government introduced the new curriculum. On your observations, the new curriculum and the old curriculum, what is the best curriculum on those two?
Thank you very much for also for that question. Personally, I'm a product of the old curriculum, and I'm a teacher of the competence-based curriculum that people have insisted on calling the new curriculum. However much it is now 4 years old, and this is the fifth year.
Yes.
Yeah, it is now 5 years old, but still it remains new since we are still discovering in it. Your question is asking whether is asking the option.
Yes, it's asking
between
the comparison. Yeah,
the comparison. Which one is better?
Yeah, which one is better of the two?
Of the two curriculum, of the two types of curriculum that we are having.
Yeah,
I think the new one, the competence-based curriculum, is better than the old one. It is far much better than the old one because here, under the competence-based curriculum, it is hands-on. Learners learn as they are experiencing what they are learning. If it is, let me use biology.
yes.
If it is biology and you are studying on bones, then the learners are going to be given a chance to be given a chance to have that experience to touch the bones and study when they are touching on the bones, and here they are going to gain more skills and they will come closer. They will come closer to what they are studying, which was not the case in the old curriculum. In agriculture, if it is about tomato growing, learners are going to be taken to the field and they do it practically, which was not in the old curriculum. The old curriculum, teachers used to come to class, teach the theoretical part, and it stops there. But now in the new curriculum, also known as the competence-based curriculum, learners do things practically, hands-on. That is why I'm saying that the competence-based curriculum, if well funded by the government and other stakeholders, is far much better than the old one.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Agaba, we'd like to know how many years have you spent in teaching?
I'm as old as 6 years in the teaching profession.
Okay. In those years, what challenges have you faced with your students during class time?
Not a lot of challenges, but of course they are always there during lessons, during class time.
Yeah.
There are such challenges as students who are not attentive. They are in lessons and they are not following what is happening in the class. For example, a student studying English language and at the same time copying notes for geography or history or any other subject. That person is not attentive. Then the other challenge we experience during lessons
Yes.
is the abrupt moving out and in of the lessons. And those students who move in and out of the lessons are always missing the content that has been covered in the time they have not been inside. So that one is also a challenge. I think apart from those ones, uh, during lessons we don't normally have challenges.
Okay. On your observation, do students go out intentionally? Do some things they do them intentionally, or
Of course, it is two way. It is two way. There are students who are naturally stubborn. They cannot settle down. They are jumpy. A jumpy student cannot settle. You teach for 10 minutes and he's going to go out for 5 minutes. He's going to come back attend for 20, like that. So we have students who are jumpy and cannot settle down. Those ones do it intentionally and they just move. They just move out. And uh, we have students who move out because nature has called. Someone is suffering from cough and is shy. He or she doesn't want to cough within class. Is going to request for permission genuinely and is going to move out and is going to go from outside. Or maybe someone wants to go to the places of convenience.
yeah.
That one is going to ask for permission and is going to be given and is going to move out. So it is two.
Okay. How do you help those jumpy students?
The jumpy students are helped by giving them guidance and counseling sessions, one-on-one advice sessions, and you show to them during that guidance and counseling session. You show to them the benefits that are there in settling down and the disadvantages, the how can we tell them? The bad things that are there in being jumpy when you come to lessons and you keep moving out, in and out, the possible outcomes, the negative outcomes that are going to come his or her way. So when you explain to him or her such, he's going to understand and is going to choose the right path. That is how we can help them.
Okay, it means that the teachers should not only teach students to be successful in academics, but also to give them advice to help them in their daily life.
Yes, in by nature, teachers are parents. That is one. Teachers are counselors. Teachers are nation builders. They give direction to the nation. Teachers are the ones who build the nation. They're the ones who give direction to the nation. There is no person who doesn't go through the hands of the teacher. So a teacher is very important here, and his work or her work is not only restricted in class but also in other spheres of life, and that is the goodness in being a teacher.
Okay, now we have found out that there are many challenges in classes when the teacher is teaching. How do you manage those challenges? How do you solve them?
During lessons or even outside the lessons?
During lessons and even sometimes on compound.
Okay, during lessons, when the lesson is ongoing and the student tries to misbehave, there are various ways of handling those students. One of them being using non-verbal ways, like glaring at that person who is in the wrong so hard. When you are teaching and the student is doing his or her own business, and you glare at that person so hard for something like 30 seconds, that student is going to understand that maybe I'm in the wrong. That is why the teacher is looking at me, and they are going to reform and focus during lessons. Then outside the classroom, in the environment, in the school compound, we give them guidance and counseling. Those ones that are extremely stubborn, we give them simple reinforcements to make sure that they stop, such as sweeping the compound, taking the rubbish, among others.
Okay, it means that when a student has done something bad, he or she should not be given a punishment which is hard. Should be given a punishment which is somehow fair.
Yes, in schools, in schools, the punishments that are there, As simple punishments, corporal punishments were banned by government. The beating of students and other harsh punishments were banned by the government of the Republic of Uganda, and it is a crime for one to give a corporal punishment. That is why I'm talking about simple punishments such as, and I've not called them even punishments, reinforcements, those things that we put to make sure that the student is going to reform, such as sweeping the compound, picking the rubbish that has been left redundant, and other simple punishments like washing the plates, the utensils that we use at the kitchen, among others.
Now, there are some situations whereby a teacher, which is the time when maybe a student wants to fight you. The student makes you to be very angry. How do you manage that student who tries to fight you?
Professionally, as a teacher, one, you have to ignore the person. Two, you have to move away from that person such that the anger cools down and you handle the matter the next day. You don't handle from immediate, you don't handle immediately. When you handle immediately, you make errors, because when we act out of anger, we always make errors. That is why when a student attempts a certain fight on a teacher, a professional teacher is going to move away, is going to ignore her, and is going to walk away. And that conflict is going to be resolved peacefully when the anger is down.
Okay. It seems that English is one of the most easy subjects, but we find students failing English. What is the major cause of that?
Thank you very much. As you have put it, English language is one of the simplest subjects that I've ever met in studying. English language is very simple. It is very simple. And for one to excel in it, he or she must have that positive attitude towards the subject, positive attitude towards the speaking of the language, positive attitude towards such practices as writing, debating, among others. You have said that it looks to be simple, but most students fail the subject, and you're asking for reason why they are failing the subject. There are very many reasons as to why most students fail simple subject called English language. To begin with, students are very lazy. They don't want to practice the speaking of the English language, because practice makes it perfect. I hope you know that.
Yes.
So through speaking the English language, you perfect it. Then you don't get trouble when it comes to answering the examination. The other thing, students have got a negative attitude towards practices such as reading. You are very much aware that in English language exams, we read passages and we write. And we write documents such as letters, curriculum vitae, minutes of the meeting, among others. So if you don't practice writing such documents and you wait to write them during examinations, then you are most likely not going to excel. And if you are not that serious student, you are going to fail the exam. So students who fail English language is not because they don't know, but because they don't put in effort to practice the language as per the guidelines.
Okay, you mean that a student to excel in English language, that student must be speaking English and write and practice writing, like documents, like essays, as you have told us.
Yes, for you to be steady in English language and be comfortable, English language teaching targets 4 skills. It targets 4 skills. One is reading, the other one is writing, the other one is speaking and listening. So all those 4 skills have got to be put into practice in order for one to excel in English language. For example, during lessons, if a learner is not listening to what the teacher is telling him or her, or what other fellow students are saying during their group discussions, is not using the other skill of listening, and is going to miss out a lot of content during the lessons. And it means when time for exam comes, or time for examination is come, he is going to fail to present because he missed during that lesson. He did not listen. If he doesn't know how to speak, it will be challenging for one to write what he cannot speak. Then, if the student is not used to writing, one is going to be having poor handwriting. Two is not going to be familiar with the writing. He's going to be having that phobia in exams. To what am I going to write and how am I going to write? So he's going to be having that phobia in exams because he's not used. I always tell my students that I teach that English language studying is like football. In football, people who excel in football are those ones who train so hard. Every day they are training, every day such that they don't forget the skills. You can take an example of greatest footballers we have in this world, Cristiano Ronaldo. You come here in Uganda, Farouk Mia, those people, they train so hard. And when they go to the pitch, they do what is necessary, the skills, because they are practicing. So English language, if you practice also, and you reach the examinations, you are going to find when the exam is a usual thing that you have been doing very often, and you won't face challenges which lead to failure.
Okay. Mr. Agaba, there are some students who always practice English, but sometimes they fail to perfect it. They speak it every day, everywhere, but they fail to perfect it. What causes that?
Maybe they are not doing enough. They are not doing enough because speaking alone is not enough. You have to read various pieces of writing. You have to read the newspapers. You have to read the novels. You have to read the poems. You have to read anything that is there to be read. The magazine articles, among others. In reading, you are going to learn how to construct the sentences. You are going to see how those people are expressing themselves in writing. You know, here in Uganda, the assessment that takes the biggest percentage is one of writing, where you sit down, the one that takes 80% at UNED.
Yeah.
When you do exams here at school, assessment is at school is two-way. There is continuous assessment, the one that we do here at school, that contributes 20%. Then the biggest one is the other one of UNEB that contributes 80%. So that one requires much of reading and much of writing. That is why I'm saying that if a student is not familiar with reading and writing, he's going to find it a challenge even when he knows how to speak. So in addition to speaking the language, you add reading those pieces of writings that are there. You can visit the library and you find each and everything there. Here at Royal Giant, our library is very well stocked with each and everything. Read the dictionaries, get to know the meanings of words, and read as you write. Read as you write several times. You are going to become a very successful student in the English language.
Mr. Agaba, I also think that what some students fail English and even other subjects because they have some actions which they do, such as coupling, such actions like being stubborn in class, making comments to teachers when they are learning. How do you advise those students?
I advise them to wait for the right time. For example, students who are coupling, they are still young. They should wait for when they complete their studies.
Yeah.
Study, go through secondary school level, go to the university, complete successfully, and after work for good years and make your parents happy, then look for a marriage partner. But when you start coupling at school, that one is not good. So I advise them to follow their goals. When you come to school, you always set goals. Set goals that I've gone to Royal Giant High School, the best school in Uganda. I want to score A in each and every subject. Then, when you reach school, do not forget those goals. You put strategies that are going to enable you achieve your goals. And another thing, know that you are a student and settle down, concentrate, and know the reason why you came from home to school. That one is my simple advice. Maybe finally we can advise those students do the right thing in the right time and in the right place. When you do that one, you are going to succeed in education and academics.
It means that students should come to school when they have set their goals, when they have known their backgrounds, so that they can be inspired to perfect it during their academics. Master Agaba, well, at first you told us that you are the patron of the Debating and Writers Club, Regent High School. Now, what are the duties of that club, of those two clubs, the Debating and the Writers Club?
There are very many responsibilities and duties and activities those clubs can put into function. Maybe I'm going to mention a few of them. Of course, I'm going to mention a few of them, and one of them being boosting students' confidence and self-esteem. Of course, you understand that during debate, students are given a chance to express themselves. When they are expressing themselves, they are going to be used. They are going to be used to addressing the congregation of very many people. And once the student starts addressing the congregation of very many students, he's going to start believing in himself or herself, and finally he's going to become self-confident. The other activity that the writers and the debating club does is sensitizing the school community and the community outside the school on the right things to do in order to live in harmony. During the Writers Club sessions, we have always encouraged the students to write articles. For example, recently we wrote about environmental protection, how the environment can be conserved, and there's one student, Maiga Joseph, who wrote about how to take care of a certain place we have in the school in order for students not to fall into it. There's a certain pit we have there near the football ground.
Yeah.
And Mike Atitiva wrote a very good article about it. So we have always encouraged our learners to write. So that is one of the activities that we do. The other activities that we do is charitable work, cleaning the school. Sometimes we have time and we clean the school. There are very many activities that we do.
Okay. Now, when you are managing that club, you manage it only you, or you have some students who help you?
Of course, I'm the patron. The students are in leadership of their clubs. For example, the debating club is led by the president, called Chakonyi Henry, and the writers club president is known as Maiga Titiwa Joseph Mary. They are all his nephew. So here at Royal Giant, students are in charge of those clubs. Then for us, the patrons, we are there to give guidance on what to do and how they are going to do it.
Okay, it means that at Regent High School, you give opportunities to students to learn how to write, to engage in leadership sessions. As you have said, that the club is headed by students, where the president is the head, and even other members of the cabinet. Now, let us allow Mr. Agaba to give us a conclusion remark.
Thank you very much, Henry. I want to thank whoever has been watching us. Thank you very much for supporting our GHS TV. We wish you well. I want to send greetings to my two beautiful daughters, Agaba Melissa and Agaba Arabella. I love you so much. And to my wife, Nakunda Winnie, I love you so much. To our fellow teachers at Regent High School and our parents, beloved parents, thank you very much for supporting us. We wish you well and God's protection. Thank you very much.
The teachers there and some students, I think you have learned something in this session. Let me thank all people who have been watching this program. This is called RGS TV, the program Royal Highlights. Thank you, members. Bye-bye.